Norman, why is CardioReady certification necessary?
CardioReady certification assures that there is a comprehensive and complete AED program in place which will permit the maximum opportunity and chance to save a patient's life while minimizing potential exposure to legal liability.
Why is CardioReady certification important to the hospitality industry?
Well, unlike airports, arenas, shopping malls, stadiums, amusement parks, and other large types of public venues, the hospitality industry is behind at hotels with very low adoption rates. In fact, only a very small percentage of hotels have even a single AED, let alone a full program that would be what one would consider eligible for CardioReady certification.
And how is your company, Starsight, involved?
Well, as the world's largest on-demand meetings management company, we're in a great position being connected with the largest buyers and sellers in the industry to create the impetus for the adoption and deployment of AED programs with our connection to both the buyers and sellers in the marketplace.
In what other markets is CardioReady certification important?
Well, there are a number of markets that it is important, and ones that we are presently focused on are the industrial market, for example, factories, offices, warehouses. Also the residential market, where you have residential complexes like high-rise buildings. The educational market, where you have not only classrooms, but even perhaps more importantly, you have athletic facilities, such as at colleges and universities. A fourth area of interest to us is the retail market, where you have all types of stores, and in particular the so-called large box retailers.
Why is CardioReady qualified to be a certifying authority?
CardioReady has worked very closely with the American Heart Association, its own medical board of advisors, and legal counsel to arrive at a set of criteria which incorporate the best practices and provide an optimum, concise, and definite program that the various industries can follow, which will conform with these best practices.
How do you work with the American Heart Association?
Well, we have a continuing working relationship with them to be sure that our certification programs reflect the latest findings and studies by doctors and by the Heart Association themselves. And we also rely heavily upon the American Heart Association to help us educate the public as to the importance of AEDs and the importance of programs that are CardioReady certified.
Now, is the American Heart Association's CPR/AED certification the same as CardioReady certification?
No, it is not. It is really a component of CardioReady certification. As part of the CardioReady program, you need to have a certified, one or more certified persons who can use the equipment. But there are many other components to a CardioReady certified program.
Well, what are the components of CardioReady certification?
There are a number of components. The first would be to conduct a survey of the facility to see how many AEDs are required, and then to actually place AEDs there. Another component, very important component, would be a physician-directed program, that is medical direction provided by a physician. Then you would also need to have a program to determine the number of trained responders that the particular facility needs and assure that those trained responders are properly trained with the CPR AED training. Then you need to have a maintenance program, a regimen, if you will, to be sure that the equipment is maintained so that it will always work when the need arises. You need to provide coordination with the local EMS, and you need to assure compliance with any relevant laws or regulations, including Good Samaritan laws.
So then, what are the common mistakes made in implementing AED programs?
Well, they're surprisingly basic. For example, not checking to see if the equipment works and not having this regimen in place. Also, unfortunately, many AEDs, to the extent they exist on a property, are in places where no one knows where they are. They may even be locked up so that only staff members can use them.
Yeah, I've heard about that happening in hotels and disaster areas. Can a person get sued for providing or using an AED?
Well, I guess the old saw is that in America you can sue anyone for anything, but in fact the Good Samaritan laws do provide protection for those who have a CardioReady certified program live up to those elements, and that protects you from civil liability.
Norman, are AEDs regulated by the government?
No, not as such. There are FDA regulations of the AED devices themselves, but the actual usage of AEDs are really not regulated. Even federal government buildings have guidelines but no mandates for the use of AEDs. Now, there are some local and state jurisdictions which provide regulations, but they are few and far between.
What are my obligations as an employer, a hotelier, or a facility owner regarding AEDs?
There seems to be an increasing significance being placed upon meeting a standard of care, I'm speaking by the courts, in order to provide the AED protection to all of those who are occupants or users of that facility. And increasingly you're seeing cases reflecting that.
Tony, aside from limiting liability, what are the other benefits of CardioReady certification for facilities in the market you serve?
Well, first of all, for those that are sourcing or buying meetings or large group business at hotels, CardioReady certification is an easy way for the meeting planner to find out whether the property meets the criteria for CardioReady certification instead of having to go down the whole list that Norman discussed earlier. Second of all, it allows and prevents actually misinformation from the workers at the hotel. Many people think, like we talked about before, that oh, I have American Heart Association certification. Isn't that the same thing? It's a real nice designation for people to know, much like 4 diamond, 5 diamonds. We all know what those mean for hotels, but the same way CardioReady certification is a set of finite objective criteria that hotels need to meet. And third, for the hotels that are on board with it right now, it's a wonderful way for them to differentiate themselves for safety and health conscious customers.
Now the question my wife would ask at this time, are AED programs expensive? No, I take it back. I would probably ask that of her.
Well, relatively speaking, no. In fact, let's just take my industry, a hotel. Most hotels can get away with an AED program with only 2 to 4 AEDs total, covering the entire property's group and public gathering space. And that cost would be approximately $1,500 per AED per year for a complete program, including the AED, all the training, all the management that Norman talked about, and the certification and the promotion of it. So for $6,000 a year, that's not a lot of money, especially when you have customers like ours coming to you with pieces of business that run in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So what do you see for the future?
Well, for the future, I see this going a lot like high-speed internet access. If you remember in the old days, you came up, it was rare you would see high-speed internet access, but then only the better hotels did. Then it was kind of a charge, and now it's to the point where if you don't have high-speed internet access, you're at a disadvantage at the hotel. I see that same trajectory for defibrillators and programs such as the CardioReady program.
So what do you see for the future?
Well, I think you're going to see continued increasing awareness by the public of the importance of AEDs and the importance of a proper AED program, one that would be CardioReady certifiable. And fortunately, I think we're also going to see more publicity about lives saved as a result of these AEDs and these programs. On the other hand, I think you're also going to see more activity in the legal community, more cases where parties who have not provided the proper AED protection in their facilities are exposed to liability, and there'll be increasing publicity about that.
Well, you've certainly raised my expectations to look into this very, very valuable program that'll save lives. Thank you very much for being here. It's always great to see you.
Thank you, sir.
And Tony, great to see you. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Until next time, for Health Journal Television, I'm Norman Schwarzkopf.